Hello and welcome to this week's weekly reading vlog. So it's currently Monday evening-ish, it's just about to turn 5, and I thought I should probably start the vlog because we've got a lot of reading to do this week. So what is this week's reading, you might be asking? Probably not, because I probably wrote it in the title and probably in the thumbnail, but in case you're still asking, this week we are finishing off the January TBR. We still have 2 books on the official TBR, and then there's also 3 more books that I've started and not finished. So if we have like a really amazing week, we'll be finishing 5 books this week. If we have a not so amazing week, but still a pretty good week, we'll be finishing these 2 books this week. And if we have anything less than a good week, then I should have waited to film my February TBR, because I did that this morning and I assume that I'm finished these 2. So we need to finish these 2. Yeah, let's have a quick talk about everything that's going on. Week 1, I started this. I've read a few poems here and there. This is just a war poet anthology. Loads of different poems written during the wartime by a load of different poets. It's meant to be some that are well known and the majority are just small people, but honestly I'm still getting into poetry. I haven't recognised anyone I've read from yet, but it's alright, I'm enjoying it. I just need to actually prioritise picking it up. Then we got this one. I'm hating it. I don't want to read it. It's called Shitstorm and it's by Fernando Srigotti, I think it's pronounced. If it's not, apologies. But yeah, I just not enjoying it. And then last night, after I'd finished last week's vlog, but before I started this week's vlog, I picked up 13 Reasons Why. This is a reread for me, but the main reason I've picked it up is because the buzzword reading challenge that Books and Lala does, January is the 5 W's, and somehow, even though I've read absolutely loads this month, I've had a really amazing reading month, none of the books I've already read fit into that. So I thought this would be a quick and easy reread, and honestly I've read it for just a tiny bit last night and I'm almost halfway through. So yeah, not too worried about finishing this one. It'd just be nice to, but I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to do that. I'd just really like to actually like get all the words in the correct months this year, so we'll see. Then the 2 big books that are still on my TBR properly. First we have Winterkeep. This is started. I have started it. I'm about 10% in. Yeah 500 page book. Yeah, I'm about 10% in and I'm really enjoying it, but I've actually had to start tabbing it because the world building in books 1, 2 and 3 were great. I thought I understood them. It's been a little while since I've read with them. We've got that word building and all of these worlds being meshed together into like how they relate to each other, so I've started tabbing it. I'm really enjoying it. I've really loved what I've read. It's just one that I really need to like sit down and really concentrate on. I just haven't been in the headspace to do that, but hopefully this week I'll find time. It's the 4th book in a series, so I'm probably not going to speak too much about it. The first book in the series is Gracing, about people who are born or in early life develop graces which gives them a special ability in something very specific. I don't know, I'm 4 books in at this point and it's great, it's amazing. If you haven't read it, read it. And then last but not least is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is set in 1926 Shanghai. It is a mixture of fantasy and historical romance, I believe, but mainly fantasy, and it's also Romeo and Juliet retelling. I've only heard good things about this. I can't wait to read it, and honestly I don't know why I haven't already. I think once I pick this up it's going to be one I binge through, and I think that's why I haven't picked it up properly yet this month. Like I've had a look and it looks really cool, and I also got the one with sprayed edges and it looks so lovely, and every time I read the back I'm like, I want to read more. Here's the back. If you want to read the back, go for it, pause the video. But yeah, I just need to read this and I will read it. We have to read it this week. So yeah, those are all the books. The plan for this week, don't have one. Got a lot of stuff I need to get done, a lot of work I need to do, and a lot of editing to do. I need to do that tonight. We've just got a long week. But I'm going to try and read as much as I possibly can. honestly, like, reading is what I spend all my free time doing, so I'm sure we'll find plenty of time doing it. I just need to get into the week, and I'm not yet ready to start my reading for the week, so we need to do that. Okay, so it's Tuesday evening. Basically this evening I'm giving myself a free pass. I did way too much yesterday, I didn't do any reading, did way too much, and I've got a splitting headache, which honestly reading's not the best form, but reading's what I want to do, so we're just going to see how much we can do. Are you being a moody bum? So yeah, basically I'm going to read for the rest of the evening. We've got Geoff here. Jafar was here a minute ago, but he's now disappeared. I'm sure he'll be back. But yeah, we're going to just spend the evening reading. So I've picked these two books out for now. I've picked out 13 Reasons Why. I'm pretty sure I said I'm doing this because of the word why in it, to fit the buzzword reading challenge. I just wanted to come in and say I know that this is problematic and controversial. That's kind of one of the reasons why I'm reading it. I read this when I was in high school at some point. I can't remember how old I was probably like 14, something like that. And I can remember reading it and enjoying it. Can't remember what sort of rating I gave it, but I can remember I enjoyed it. Now, like since then, I think it started to be spoken about as being controversial. Then a TV show came out based on it, I think. And then going on Goodreads now and looking at reviews versus going on like when I originally read it, it's very different. So I basically just thought it'd be a quick and interesting one to reread, due to the fact that I have, like, you know, a totally different brain now. I am now an adult, not a child. So yeah, honestly it's okay so far. I understand some criticisms of it, but I mean I'm almost halfway through now and I don't think it's as bad as what current reviews are saying. And I'm wondering if the TV show is particularly bad and maybe that's why it's getting worse reviews, but I'm not sure. Like right now it's okay, like it's not bad. I am enjoying reading it, but yes, there are a few different problematic bits. Yeah, so far, like the first half of the book, there doesn't really seem to be any reason for her to have actually killed herself. Like, not as in saying like she didn't have a reason to, as in I don't think she needed to die for the first half of this to make sense. Like she could have just had like a mental breakdown or something, or needed to like go to some sort of like mental health facility, or it could have been something as simple as like, I fucking hate it here, I'm gonna go somewhere else, and like I'm running away maybe. Or like, I'm just saying, like, I don't think that the actual like killing herself, at least for the first half of it, like it didn't have to be a part of the story. There could have hit something else, is essentially what I'm saying. And then the second book I picked out for the evening, because I don't expect this to take very long, is Winterkeep. I really want to get back into this. I was thinking of picking it up straight away, but I've got such a bad headache, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. It's a very dense book, in like the best way possible. Like I'm loving it. But yeah, I got my tabs here as well, so I can hopefully try and understand what's going on a bit more. I'm only on chapter 5 of this. It's one of those that I could pick up and read and not put down, but I'm really trying to get better at not staying up ridiculously late reading, like trying to actually go to bed before midnight, getting up before 10, somewhere in that bracket. Like, yeah, but I'm very aware that that's how this one could go. So yeah, those are the two I picked up for tonight. I do have the rest of the books I want to read this week down here with me in case I change my mind, but yeah, that's the plan for now.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headache stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it, and I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of
Hello, so it's a few hours later and I finished 13 Reasons Why. I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed it, honestly. I really enjoyed Clay's perspective and like seeing his reactions and emotions to things, because he was pretty much learning everything that was going on at the same time we were learning it, like, with him. So I thought that was really cool. And honestly, like, I don't think I have a lot else to say that I haven't already said when talking about this. It was good. Look up trigger warnings before reading it. It is to do with suicide. There are other triggering topics in it. If you're thinking of reading it, look up trigger warnings. Like, it's not light and fluffy. It does have like quite dark content to it, but I do think it's a good book. 3 stars for me means I'm probably not going to read it again, but I enjoyed it whilst I was reading it. I'm probably not going to think about it loads after reading it, you know, give it a few months and I probably won't be thinking about it, but I enjoyed the reading experience, enjoyed the book itself. So that is that. So I was going to pick up this, but basically I feel like I'm putting off reading it because it has been kind of announced that there will be another book in this series from a different perspective, but for right now this is the last book in the series, and I feel like because I know it's the last book I'm putting off reading it. Then obviously I've started these 2 books. I'm thinking of actually starting this book, because then I'd have started all of the books I want to read this week and kind of have a better idea of what order to read them in. So I'm thinking I might start this one. This was for the prompt flowers on the cover for my TBR game, so I think I'm gonna get it started. I think. Okay, it's Wednesday. Last night before going to sleep I read up to chapter 2 of These Violent Delights and I'm really enjoying it. I probably shouldn't do this, but I think I'm just gonna read. Yeah, I stayed up till 1 reading, which was stupid, and I didn't even read a lot because I was too tired to read. Yeah, it was stupid, but I'm up and I'm awake enough now, so I think I'm just gonna pick this back up. I have had to tab a little bit, so basically because this is classed as so many genres, what I've done is, like, I think this is a fantasy element here, so I've put a green tab for fantasy. I think these are like part of the retelling element here, like the Romeo and Juliet retelling, so I've put those tabs there. And then I also think that this is a like main character introduction, or like a main character like bigger moment, so I've put a pink tab here. I've also added in these little orange tabs on some pages. You can't see these from the outside, but these are just, there's obviously this is based in Shanghai and there's quite a lot of words, well, not quite a lot. I'm on chapter 2 and I've come across 3 words that I didn't know how to pronounce, so they're basically like little pronunciation guides for me, so I can hopefully pronounce the words better than I normally would. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah, there's not really a lot to say. We've basically been introduced to the 2 main characters now and introduced to the fantasy element that I think they're gonna face. And we've been introduced to the world. Like, how it's set up is the 2 gangs, and the one gang, the main gang, which is the Scarlet Gang. We've also got their like main, not headquarters, but the main place they're hanging out has now been introduced as well. And yeah, it's honestly pretty chill so far, but I'm really enjoying it and enjoying learning the world. So yeah, the one thing I am worried about is I can't find a release date for the paperback version of book 2. It's a duology and book 2 is out but only in hardback, so I'm probably going to want to get it and read it, but we'll see. Okay, I have so much I need to do today, but I'm literally putting it off to read this book. So I'm on page 294, which according to Goodreads is 67% of the way through, and I'm loving it. Honestly, if I could have stayed up later last night to finish it, I would have, but I stayed up till 2 and I was falling asleep, so not the best, but really enjoying it. I do, in a way, I kind of wish I hadn't read it so late at night, because I couldn't use my tabs whilst I was reading using just my book light, which there are definitely a few parts where I was like, oh, that's relating to this, like, oh, like this character's going to be important further down the line, like, yeah, just stuff like that. And I was just like wanting to, but it's not the end of the world. So far really good, really amazing, loving the characters, loving the vibes. It's slower pace than I expected, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not what I was expecting, and I'm really enjoying it. I love the two main characters. If you don't want spoilers for this, then skip ahead until spoilers no longer on the screen. I'll put a timestamp or something. So basically the big thing of like why Juliet doesn't like Roma anymore is because he either did it himself or gave intel that meant his gang made an explosion of like the servants' quarters that killed her nanny, and she knows it has to be him because he would have had the information to get in based on when they were seeing each other, because he'd like get in to see her. So she's obviously assumed that and then hasn't spoken to him in 4 years, and I just feel like there's going to be something there that it wasn't to do with him or something. But also I think after that his mom was killed, and I'm wondering if that is going to have been her, maybe. Like, she was obviously killed from one of the Scarlet Gang, but like just knowing that she's stabbed, and I don't know. But yeah, spoiler section over, but that's just what I was thinking. So yeah, I'm going to keep reading it because I'm really enjoying it and I really want to read more. I've got this much left to read, so it's probably doable today. Is it doable and also getting all like the important stuff that I need to get done? I don't know, but we'll figure it out. First 5-star of the year. This was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I had such a great time reading it, and I need to figure out how to get book 2 in paperback because it's just so good and it ended on a cliffhanger, and oh my gosh, I need to know what's going to happen next. I also really enjoyed how like the Romeo and Juliet like retelling part of it, there were bits and like aspects throughout, but they weren't necessarily coming up as you expected them to be. So yeah, really loved it, really great. 5 stars. If you haven't read it, read it. Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. That's my thoughts for today. This took me longer to read than I expected it would take today, so I now really need to get on and do some work, but yeah. Okay, so the only book left to read this week that's on my official TBR is Winterkey. Basically, I feel like in between fantasy books, my brain needs something else to like switch between, and I've kind of realised I've messed up a little bit. I've got quite a lot of books on NetGalley. Most of them aren't till March, but one of them has just come through and I didn't realise that it's only got until the 7th of February. But it's a short story poetry collection, so I think I'm going to read that now. I've just downloaded it on my phone. And it's Pangaea by Hina Mian. So I think I'm going to give that a read now, to be honest. Okay, so I finished the poetry collection I was reading, and I wanted to quickly first of all say that the person's name, the author, is pronounced Henna. Pretty sure I pronounced it incorrectly when I first said about it yesterday, but it's pronounced Henna. So there we go. And then also I gave it 5 stars. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I finished it this morning. I wrote a review after lunch, and yeah, really happy that I read it. Gave it 5 stars. And obviously that was through NetGalley, so I placed a review on NetGalley and also placed a review on Goodreads. And honestly, I think when it comes out, which is next month, I will probably buy it and I think the author's got one other book in like their backlist, so I might buy that one as well. Honestly, I need to start reading this. I'm on chapter 5 and I've been on chapter 5 for a couple of weeks because it's quite intimidating, honestly, and it's also the last book in the series. I keep saying it's the last book in the series. When I brought it, it was the last book in the series. There is no rumours. I think I know more than rumours because there's an untitled book on Goodreads about the fact that there will be another book in this series following a different character. So I don't think it's the last book in the series anymore, but it's definitely the last published book in the series, and I don't know how long it will be until the next book, because in between the book previous to this and this book it was many years. So basically once I finish this I haven't got anything else to read in this world, and whilst that should be a great thing because I'll be on top of a series, I also don't like it because sometimes you just like to stay in the little fantasy worlds that you're reading about. But I'm going to start reading. I honestly won't talk much about this because it is the 4th book in a series. So we have a lot of DIY stuff to do today, but Jay's been a lazy shithead and has laid that down. Haven't you?
I won't say lazy. It's been a long week.
So I'm going to keep reading. I got to part 2 last night and it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I wish I could like consume it faster because I feel like it's quite slow going, at least the first part was, but now everything's set up and I feel like I know what's going to happen, but I also feel like there's going to be twists that makes what I think is going to happen not happen, and yeah, it's really good. I really want to keep reading, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, 11:15. It's been a day so much that it was just taking me 10 minutes to find my camera, even though it was sat on top of the tripod in front of me. It's been a long day. It's been a good day. I'm making my own bookends. Video won't be out by the time this one's out, but give it a couple of weeks and my bookends will be complete. And yeah, it's been a really good day, but a lot of power tools. I'm very tired. I'm really knackered. Yeah. So, before the end of the month, which is now just over 48 hours away, and obviously I've got normal person shit to do in that time as well, I've got another 400 pages of this. Will I do it? Probably not. I think if I get this one done it'll feel okay. Maybe I'll get the others done as well, but like, I was hoping to read a lot more of this so far today. I'm going to read more now. I need more time to read. I need to... Some weeks I have so much time to read, it's great, and then I feel like the weeks where it's like a big chunky amount, where you want like a few hours together to read a big chunk of a chunky book, you just get the odd hour here and there.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, yeah. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's...
Okay, so I'm currently on page 164, which according to Goodreads is 31%. It's now Sunday. I'm so determined to finish this book today, but we're going out with Jay's parents for lunch shortly, and we've also got a lot of stuff to do around the house. I also need to hopefully finish making my bookends. Yeah, I'm going to give it a go. On page 164, this book is 511 pages long, and then there is like a bit of stuff in the back as well, which I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I obviously don't want to look right now because I don't want to spoil anything accidentally. So yeah, chapter 15. I'm really loving it, I should say that. But yeah, normally I would have ended this video and be editing it all afternoon. I'm going to read instead and hope I have time to edit still. Okay, it is 5:30 exactly now, and it's time to pick up the book again. Before going out I managed to read 20 pages exactly, so I'm now on page 184, but it's now 5:30 and I've got over 300 pages left to read. Let's just see if we can do it. This is what I want to spend my evening doing, this is what I want to spend my afternoon doing, and I really want to get this finished. Like, I really want to read it, I just don't know if I'm physically capable of reading as fast as I need to finish it today. Essentially, I'll probably just update tonight as to whether I got it finished or what point I got up to, and I'll finish it tomorrow. But yeah. Okay, it is now technically Monday morning, but I didn't finish off the vlog last night because I didn't finish this till 2 AM. Oh my god, it was amazing. I'm definitely giving it 5 stars. I haven't actually rated it yet, but it's definitely a 5-star read. I love this. I loved the ending, I loved the journey, I loved all the different perspectives and the timelines, and I loved the new world that we explored. It was really, really great, and it did everything really well. Like, obviously I already knew that I liked this writing because I've read the first 3 books in this series, but it was really good. And also the first 3 books in the series I feel like ended relatively conclusively. Like, if they'd have decided to be the last book, it would have been. This did not end quite so conclusively, and I feel like there are possibilities with the ending of this for multiple other books, which is really exciting. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I've had such an amazing reading week this week. I think I've had 3 5-star reads in a row, which is just unheard of. Like, I'm honestly really happy with how this has ended. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope this has been fun. All I've done this week is read, and I don't think I've taken you anywhere exciting, but that's the whole point of this. So yeah, do give the video a like if you liked it, subscribe down below if you'd like to see more content like this, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.